Hi everyone, thanks for joining me yet again out at the range at Orange County National, and today I'm going to share a few more ideas around how a player could load their trail hip in backswing. So really important area of the golf swing, very helpful to hitting successful golf shots. In the past I've posted a few videos around lower body motion and specifically about loading the trail hip. So if this video doesn't quite connect, there are a few other ones that you can go and take a look at and hopefully you'll find something there. Okay, so I've had a few players in recently where a few of the drills I'm going to present to you have worked really well. The concept that I gave those players that seemed to really simplify what we're trying to achieve was that from a face-on setup, so I'm going to get into obviously good setup position to show you this. We're going to make sure the pelvis is in a good position, really important for loading this trail hip. The concept I gave them was getting the belt buckle to close the space between itself and the right pocket. So you can see as I move into the backswing there, you can see how that belt buckle really gets closer to that right pocket. Again, I feel I've spoken about in the past is the crease in the pants. So for me to do this, what I actually feel through the ground is I'm going to start with, let's just start at 50-50, left foot to right foot. And I'm well balanced toe to heel in setup there. To get that feel, I actually have to push off the left foot. And an error I see a lot of players make, typically amateurs, sometimes good players, is that early on the swing they get too much on that left toe and that left knee works too much in towards the ball. And when we do that, it's really hard to kind of get into that right hip. So what I'm doing here is, as I said, I'm well balanced toe to heel, but I'm not moving right onto my big toe. I'm moving more just slightly into the front of my left foot and pushing the right hip up from there. So a good reference I have to make sure that knees don't go in too much is that if I was to put a club or an alignment stick on the floor of my toe line, as I look down, my left knee is never going to really get ahead of my toes in that early phase of the swing. It's only going to have the tiniest little move forward. So we're not going to get too much of the motion there through the lower body. So that's the concept there. From a right side feel, as I'm doing that, it just feels like I'm screwing my right foot into the ground. Again, a feel that I've mentioned before, and that's how I feel when I'm just closing that space. So I've got a couple of drills to share with you that have worked really well. As you can see, I've got this whiteboard here. It's a typical almost T-space divider that we use. It's about 1 inch thick. So when I put it under my right heel, and what that does is it almost presets the movement and exaggerates the feel. So when I'm in here and I'm going through that motion of closing the space between the belt buckle and the trail pocket, I can feel that even more there. I can really feel my getting into the hip then, I can feel it more back here as well. So really simple feel. And again, something like this, you wouldn't need the full length board, just something about 1 inch thick to put under that right heel that you could just take out into the range. I haven't hit balls with it yet with anyone, but you can work back and forth between hitting shots and getting the feel. So again, a nice one. I love things that you can just take out there with you. So I'll just move this out of the way. If you haven't got that, this drill here is an option straight away for you to play with. So into your setup, and from there just take your left foot back and just try and keep as light a pressure as you can through that left toe, and then just feeling nice takeaway motions there. If you can, try and keep the trail knee pretty stable as you're doing this, and you can reach, or you can have a club in your hand and feel just feel the same sensation there. Very similar to having the board underneath my trail hip there. And again, an easy one to take on the range. I know some players will hit shots on their right foot to get that feel. So if you did want to play with that, that's something that you could go with. I like getting the feels and then walking into the shots. So a few different options there as far as loading the trail hip. Would love to hear how you get on with them. If for any reason you struggle with them and you feel like physically it's challenging, then I've posted a couple of videos recently with Dr. Brendan McLaughlin, and we've covered some areas around the pelvis position and setup and hip position. So they might be helpful, but essentially then what we'd have to do is just look at how we can create more range and control around the hips to allow you the opportunity to do some of this stuff.